The average lifespan in the US is over 78 years old. For context, if you were 78 right now, you would have been born in 1947. You would have lived through the civil rights movement, the moon landing, and over a dozen massive global wars. You would have seen the fall of the Soviet Union, the creation of the internet, and if you live in the US, you would have been through 14 economic recessions. Yes, you heard that right, there have been 14 recessions in your grandparents' lifespans. So stop thinking that you've wasted your life because you're in your 20s and you haven't accomplished your goals yet. Based on the average age of everyone watching this video, you have 40 to 60 more years on this earth to become the person that you want to be, to live the life that you want to live. So to assume that everything is hopeless and that your life is a lost cause after a handful of years as an adult is an absurd conclusion to make. By checking out at this stage in your life and giving up, you're voluntarily giving yourself 50 more years of misery. Is that really what you want? I often pressure myself to do more, to achieve more, and to never stop. Any goal that I ever achieve is instantly pushed away by my next increasingly difficult goal. I never stop to smell the roses or to celebrate the little wins that I have in life. I'm never enough, and I always have something else that needs to be done. And at times, it gets exhausting. I'm never where I think I should be, and I always feel like I'm wasting my life if I goof off and play video games or don't do something productive. And chances are, if you live in the West, you feel the same. We live in a burnout society where achievement is the driving force behind everything. Instead of an authoritarian leader forcing us to do things, we force ourselves to do things, exploiting ourselves for the perception of something better just around the corner. School is a race to the top, a race to college, which then leads to a race into the workforce, a race to climb the ladder, do more, and then retire and die. Wow, that was fun. I love living my life like I'm trying to make a Minecraft speedrunning video. And now I'm 78 and signing my days away to whatever AI slop is being funneled to me through my Apple Vision Pro, reminiscing on the good old days that I'd never even experienced. I'm all over the place, but my point is this. Today is the youngest you'll ever be, but that doesn't mean it's all downhill from here. If you aren't happy with how your life is going, you're likely going to have years to change it. Nothing is stopping you from learning new skills or working towards your goals. You didn't peak in high school unless you decide that you peaked in high school, and while things are going to inevitably change as you go through life, you have the ability to become the person that you want to be. Trust me, I know this because I went through it myself. I hardly had any friends in high school. I was a skinny nerd who was too busy making YouTube videos about video games to properly socialize. I wasn't a complete reject, but I wasn't the cool kid either. I was right in the fringes, not quite fitting in with any of the nerds nor any of the popular kids. I didn't have a father figure to teach me how to be a man, and I sure as hell wasn't athletic. I didn't know how to change the oil in a car, to cook, or to do anything else really, except make YouTube videos about games, I guess. Looking at all of those things, it would be easy to see too many obstacles and decide that it's too hard. I had way too many skills that I needed to learn to fit in with the world, and where would I even start? But who said that I needed to fix all of those things in a 1 to 2 year period? I started working out in college, and it's now been 7 years, and I'm finally starting to see the progress that I want to see. Sure, I spent most of college still being skinny, and honestly, I'm still a little skinny right now. But looking at my improvements, I'm content with my results, and I love to see that I'm improving in the gym. Cooking took time too. I didn't know how to cook well until my sophomore year of college, and now I finally feel like I'm good enough to make food for other people without being embarrassed of how it turns out. I finally improved my coordination enough to start playing tennis, and while I'm terrible at tennis, who says that I have to be good? Why can't I just play it to have fun? Sure, I haven't taken pretty much any steps to make new friends since I moved to my current city over 2 years ago, but the skills that I'm learning will probably lead me to meeting new people in the future who I now know how to talk to. I'm sure you're starting to see the pattern here. You don't have to rush to achieve your goals. Instagram and other social media platforms make you feel like you're failing if you aren't accomplishing everything you want to accomplish in 1 to 2 months. You need 100,000 subscribers on YouTube after 10 videos because you've seen other people do it in the past. You need to get a promotion in your job every single year. You need to eat better, and the list goes on. But who's making those rules? Did that authoritarian leader that I mentioned earlier show back up, storm into your house, and force you to change these things about yourself? Or did you decide that these are things that you wanted or needed to do? Do you want to eat healthier because your grandma said she's going to kick you out of the house if you don't? Or do you, at least a little bit, want to eat better because you know it's something you're capable of doing? And that's what I mean. The achievement society that we live in forces you to become your own master and your own slave. Nobody's forcing you to work towards your goals, so at least try to enjoy the process. You have years to work towards these things, so there's no reason to think that you need to do it in such a short time frame. Again, today is the youngest that you'll ever be, so start now and be patient with yourself. I've been making YouTube videos for almost 11 years now, and I finally kind of feel like I'm starting to know what I'm doing. I can't make up for a decade of experience that I have on the platform by injecting ChatGPT summarized bullet points into my brain. The knowledge that I've gained along the way came exclusively from my experience of making videos, and no matter what the internet makes you think, there's no substitute for consistent effort over time. So whatever your goal is, whether it's being healthier, being more social, being more active, it could be anything. It could be getting better at a game. Stop putting it off and start today. You have two options if you want to change something about your life. Change it or don't. I know it sounds a bit insensitive and kind of toxic, especially when compared to how I usually frame things, but it's the one time that I'm going to say something like that on this channel because it's true. Everyone has different circumstances and different obstacles. Some things can't be avoided. But either way, you can either take action or not take action. Those are literally the only two options. And every bit of action leads to a different outcome, while every bit of inaction keeps you exactly the same as you are right now. Now, I want to clarify something here. I am 100% against the idea that every person needs to become something arbitrary, some stupid vision of their life that society makes them think they need to be. Not everyone needs to be a billionaire, or an athlete, or a YouTuber, or popular, or handsome, or whatever else scumbags on the internet are shoving down men's throat, trying to convince them that they all need to be the same. They don't, and you don't need to be anyone, but you need to listen to your heart. If you're genuinely content with your life, don't try to change it to appeal to someone else's idea of what you need to be. Contentment is extremely rare in 2025, so if you have it, indulge in it, truly. But if you're unhappy or discontent, or there's something in the back of your mind telling you that you need to change something about your life, it's not going to change unless you take action. Think about why you feel the way you do. What is it that's causing you to feel these negative feelings? Can you fix it by changing something? Then start to take action. The joy comes from knowing that you're taking that action instead of taking the easy path and doing nothing, not from the results themselves. So slow down, enjoy that progress, and pay attention to where you've come from instead of where you still need to go. As you take steps and as you achieve your goals, the next goalpost is inevitably going to move. So realizing that it's literally about the journey and not the destination is how you stay sane and shape your life to what you want it to be. Nobody goes to the gym and then one day says, "Look, Mom, I'm fit," and then stops going to the gym. Nobody gets a girlfriend and says, "Great, I have one, now what's next?" No. Both of these things, and many of the things that people want to work towards in life, are continuous processes. I've said it before, quite a bit on this channel actually, but it's really my favorite thing. You need to realize that good things take time and that the process never really ends. This is something I've heard for my whole life, but a few years ago it really resonated with me and completely shook up my entire world. Things that I was being impatient with myself about, things that I was pressuring myself to do, the constant urge to improve, it kind of gets extended out on a longer time frame when you realize that you have a longer time frame. Now I know nobody's guaranteed that longer time frame, but just going off of the averages, you're probably going to have a decent amount of time to work towards those things that you want to do. If you can truly convince yourself that you're doing something for the long run instead of for short-term external validation, you will feel so much better on a day-to-day basis. I didn't make this channel to become a YouTuber and then now I'm a YouTuber and I can stop making videos. I made this channel to talk about things that I'm passionate about and to create a sort of personal video journal, and that process is not going to change if this channel has 1 subscriber or 1 million subscribers. I'm not going to take a sponsorship on this channel whether they offer me $1 or $1,000, and I'm gonna keep focusing on my goal regardless of how things change externally. I'm doing this for the long run and for the impact, and that's all that matters. So again, remember that today is the youngest you will ever be. There's no reason why your 30s shouldn't be better than your 20s, or your 40s better than your 30s. Heck, why can't your 60s be the best years of your life? Your 70s. There are way too many 20-year-old gurus out there telling you that you're a loser and that you need to change now. But who are these people to talk? They don't know anything about you, what you're aiming for, or what your life circumstances look like. So ignore them entirely and instead focus on trying to figure out what you want in life and taking small steps to accomplish those things, and you could make genuine changes. If other people find your goals stupid, it really shouldn't matter because your goals are for yourself and that's what you should be pursuing. You don't need to accomplish them right now or tomorrow or next year. These things may take decades, but that's what life is all about. And I'm sure when you get to the end of it, you'll realize that you actually had everything you needed the entire time or something like that, which is kind of funny. But at the very least, live life to see what happens next. If these types of topics are interesting to you, you should join our Discord linked in the description. We have over 5,000 active members and a community Minecraft server, and it's one of the best places to talk about personal growth and make new friends online that I've ever seen. And I promise, I'm not biased. And consider supporting on the Buy Me a Coffee page to help keep that Minecraft server up and running and to support my mission here, since this channel does not and will not have sponsors. And if you have any thoughts about everything said here today, let me know in the comments because your comment could actually help someone else who may be going through a similar problem. I know that this video seems a little more inspirational and pushy than usual, so if you don't really like that, let me know in the comments. It's not the new norm or anything, but I really do feel like it's the only way to communicate this topic in a way that makes sense. But anyways, that's it for today's conversation, and we will talk again soon.